What's up, DC Nation? I hope you all are doing well. Today we're checking out Nightwing number 80. This is Leaping into the Lights, part 3. Written by Tom Taylor, art by Bruno Redondo, and guys, this issue is amazing. This is everything I want in a Nightwing comic. It's just awesome. Before we get into the story though, if you're not caught up, don't worry, I put a link down below to a playlist that'll catch you up. Now, getting to this issue, we start with Dick at his apartment, trying to sleep. It's 5 p.m. and Dick's new dog is barking a lot, so Dick's not really getting any sleep. But there's a reason for this dog barking, because there are two detectives at Nightwing's door. Now, Dick gets out of his bed and he says to his dog, "I don't mind if you understand sit or stay, but you need to understand I work nights." Now, the detectives keep knocking on the door and they say, "Mr. Grayson, police, we'd like a word." Dick stands up, picks up his dog, and opens the door. He says, "Hey, sorry, I was asleep." Now, one of the detectives takes out his badge and he says, "It's 5 in the afternoon. Did you have a late one, Mr. Grayson?" "What's this about?" Dick asks. "You reported your wallet stolen last night. Canceled your cards," a detective says. He continues, "Before you report your cards stolen, a hotel was booked for a Martin Holtz." Now, Dick steps forward saying, "Oh, hey, that was me. He didn't steal my wallet. I hope he didn't have trouble with the hotel room." Now, the detective says, "No, he never checked in. He was found murdered this morning." Now, Dick is shocked. Guys, I want to note on Bruno Redondo's artwork here, because it's really good, because the facial expressions he draws really shows how shocked Dick is. When I was reading it, I was like, okay, this really emphasizes Dick's facial expression and shows that he's shocked but also curious. Now, Dick holds his dog and continues to say, "What? What about his son, Elliot? Is he okay?" Now, the detective says, "We don't have any information about his son, Mr. Grayson." And the other detective says, "Interesting that you do." So obviously the detectives are getting a little suspicious on Dick because he's the only one that knows that Martin has a son. From here we see Dick, he calls Barbara, and at this point Barbara, she's leaving Bloodhaven, she's going back to Gotham. But Dick tells her to come back for a quick sec. She asks why, and he tells her, "Because I'm pretty sure I'm being accused of murder, and you're my only alibi." Now, Dick hangs up the phone and puts on a shirt. The shirt reads Black Canary. A really cool Easter egg, I thought. Now, Dick starts pouring some coffee and setting up a table for his guest. Now, the detective says, "I understand you used to be one of us, Mr. Grayson. Why did you leave the Bloodhaven police?" Now, Dick looks back saying, "There were too many criminals." And then we see the detectives, they sit down and they continue saying, "Mr. Holt was found dead. This morning, his heart was removed. We don't know how. Do you?" Now, Dick sets the coffees down and replies, "Why would I?" And the detective starts sipping on his coffee saying, "You paid for a hotel room for him. I don't want to theorize about why, but I'm thinking he didn't like your proposition. Something went wrong, and you cut out his hearts. Just like you've been taking the hearts of homeless people all over the city," the detective says as he lays out photos of dead homeless men who have their hearts removed. Now that's when we hear a knock on the door, and the dog starts barking. Barbara walks through the door saying, "How's it going?" And Dick opens the door and he's smiling. He says, "Being accused of murder. You?" Now Barbara sits down and shakes the hands of the detectives. She says, "Detectives, I'm Barbara Gordon. I was with Dick all night. I have GPS on my phone. I'm happy to show you my movements over the last 24 hours. Now one of the detectives says, "I see, Miss Gordon, and what's this nature of your relationship?" Now Dick, he looks at Barbara, and there's a moment of silence. Now Dick looks back at the detectives and says, "I've been wondering that myself, but interrogation is not how I wanted to broach the subject." And Barbara then says, "That's not relevant." And the detective says, "I think we'll decide what's relevant." Now, Barbara crosses her arms and says, "Really? Because I have a law degree." And Dick looks back at her saying, "Oh yeah? So do I." Now, Barbara, She starts shrugging her shoulder and says, "Now, we're both eager to help with your investigation, but if you're accusing Dick of murder when he has an alibi and there's absolutely no direct evidence linking him with the crime, that would be incompetence." Now, from here we see Barbara and Dick. They say goodbye to the detectives, and Barbara and Dick start going down the stairs. And Barbara asks Dick, "You're going to look for the kid?" "Yes, I'll start the crime scene. But if Elliot escaped the killer, I already have an idea where he'll be." "Okay. I'll run a search from here. Hospitals, shelters. I'll try to track down any next of kin," Barbara says. Now they start going through the apartment room, and Dick says, "The killer cut out his heart." And Barbara then replies, "Does that mean something to you?" And Dick puts down the dog, saying, "Yesterday, when I chased the kids into the tent city, they asked if I was the man without a heart." "Well, I was videoing the whole time. The detectives were interviewing us, so we can go through the photos they showed us." Now, Dick gets his Eskrima sticks and says, "Thanks for spying on the police." And Barbara takes off her glasses, saying, "Anytime." Now, Dick puts on his mask, he gets in the Nightwing costume, and he says, "If I'm right about where the kid is, I'm going to need some very specific help. I need to make a call." And Barbara asks, "To whom?" And Dick replies, "My brother, Tim Drake, thought of by many as the best Robin. I totally get it." Now, first off, guys, I really like this description by Tom Taylor about Tim Drake. But Tim he doesn't get enough spotlight. I'm happy he's back and getting great content. Now we see Tim and Nightwing, they meet, and Tim says, "Batman wanted me to give you something. It's a wallet chain. It means kids can't steal your money. And as an added bonus, you can throw a solid metal band in the early 2000s. Now, Dick takes the wallet, saying, "I'm never living this down, am I?" And Tim smiles, saying, "Of course you're not." Now, Nightwing jumps off the rooftop, saying, "Come on, we'll take the train home." We see Tim and Dick, they're just flying through the night. It's really cool. The artwork by Bruno Redondo here is just phenomenal. And Tim says, "I'd heard about what Alfred left you. That's a lot." Dick replies, "Yeah, I don't mean a lot of money," Tim says. "It is a lot of money," Dick says as he lands on the train. "Yeah, but I just mean it's a lot to take on. Do you know what you're going to do with it?" That's when Nightwing says, "Tunnel," and we see the train go under a tunnel, and Nightwing and Tim, they pretty much just bend back so they don't get hit. And guys, this scene reminds me of pretty much a whole issue of Nightwing. It's Nightwing number 25. The whole issue sees Nightwing and Tim Drake Robin. They're just teaming up. They're on this train, and there's a certain sequence where Nightwing says like something similar. He's like, "Tunnel." They duck down. Yeah, the artwork is different. Like, this artwork is better than the artwork of a comic that came out long ago, but I see what Tom Taylor is referencing here, and it's awesome. That issue of Nightwing where Nightwing and Tim Drake team up, issue number 25, was one of my favorite issues because I like the interactions between Dick and Tim. So, you already know when I was reading this, I got super hyped. I was like, oh, man, this issue keeps getting better. What else does Tom Taylor have in store? Now, going back to the scene, we have Nightwing and Tim. They're in this tunnel, and Nightwing says, "I'm going to use the money to help." And Tim says, "Of course you are." And Nightwing replies, "I have some ideas. I have a meeting in Gotham tomorrow." Now, Tim and Dick continue to talk as the train goes through Bloodhaven City. Tim says, "There's a kid missing?" Dick replies, "Yeah, Elliot. His father was murdered." "Did you know him?" Tim says. "Not really. I met him last night. I got him and his son a meal. Booked them a room to get them off the street. He seemed kind." Dick says, "I'm sorry." Tim says. Now, Tim and Nightwing, they jump off the train because Dick says, "We're getting off here." So they start going through the rooftops, going through the city, and Dick says, "From the crime scene, I tracked the son back to a pizza shop. Security footage at the store showed him leaving with some other kids. I'm pretty sure I know where they are. There's a tent city of homeless kids. This is the reason I asked you to come. But I don't need Robin. I need Tim Drake, and you won't be alone." Now, we see Nightwing and Robin make it back to the apartments, and when Tim walks in, he immediately sees the dog, and he's like, you got a puppy? And Barbara, she pretty much turns around in her chair saying, Dick said she was going to the pounds. Now Tim says, sure, that sounds plausible. And you want me to take the dog with me on this mission? Yes, Dick says. Why? Tim asks. People are more approachable with a lovable dog, Dick says. Now Barbara smiles saying, it's true, that's just science. Dick then lifts the collar and smiles saying, also, she needs a walk. We fast forward to see Tim pretty much in homeless kid clothes, or just regular clothes in my opinion, and he's walking the dog in this tent city area. Now Dick is on comms. He says, keep a looking out for Elliot, Tim, and find whatever you can about this man without hearts. Now Tim says, sure. So, Babs stayed the night, huh? Now Dick replies, I slept on the couch. I see. You know I'm on this channel, right? Barbara says, and Tim grits his teeth saying, well, I do now. Guys, this interaction is amazing. I really like it. Because seeing Tim and Dick just talking, and Tim be like, so Dick, you getting back with Barbara? And he does not know that Barbara is just listening to the conversation. Now Dick then says, can we talk about something else? And Tim says, like the potential serial killer cutting out people's hearts? Yeah, a much more comfortable conversation, Dick says. That's when Tim finds Elliot with a bunch of other kids, around like a fire. And Tim says, hey, I might have Elliot. Do you want me to engage, or are you just happy to have eyes on him? Dick says, we need to know what he saw, and I'd like to give him some help. Got it. Going radio silent so I don't look like I'm talking to myself, Tim says. Good call, Dick says. We go to an hour later, and we see that Tim has really became friends with these homeless kids, and he's gotten to know Elliot a little bit. Now Tim asks Elliot, you okay? And Elliot responds, yeah, I'm good. Now Tim starts walking away with his dog, and he reports to Dick that basically all these homeless kids are orphans, like they lost their parents were killed by this same man, the man without a heart. Now that's when Dick says, Tim, you might want to give the dog to Elliot and suit up. We have trouble. Brutal and Electrocutioner. They work for Blockbuster. Guys, things are about to pop off. Now, we see Brutal. He walks up to one of the homeless kids. The kid says, what do you want? Brutal says, people in here have been stealing. That's a crime, kid. And you don't look like police, the kid says. Now that's when the Electrocutioner says, very perceptive. A cut of every crime in this city goes to Blockbuster, no matter how pathetic. We bend the rules for poor homeless kids, and Blockbuster could look weak, Brutal says. Now Brutal takes out a knife and puts it to the kid's neck, saying, Blockbuster doesn't ever look weak. That's when Brutal is hit in the head by a screamer stick. You hear a talk. And you see Dick, he shows up in his Nightwing costume, and you have the moon behind him. Nightwing is above Brutal and the Electrocutioner. It's a phenomenal image drawn by Bruno Redondo. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite images in the book. Now, Nightwing looks down saying, I don't pretend to understand henchman job satisfaction, but stealing from homeless kids has got to feel like a career low. From here, we see Electrocutioner go to blast Nightwing. Now, he dodges. We see Tim show up in his Robin costume. He kicks the Electrocutioner in the face. Now, Nightwing shouts, Robin! We see Dick. He gets his Eskrima sticks. He puts them together and makes them into a staff. He passes it to Tim, and Tim gets the staff into his hands. Guys, this sequence of panels is done so well. From here, we see Tim, he gets the staff and just knocks the Electrocutioner in the face. And we see Brutal, he throws multiple knives at Nightwing, and Nightwing just jumps in the air, avoiding these knives. We see this big splash image showing this whole sequence. And it looks so cool, guys. Like, seeing Tim and Nightwing teaming up against these two villains is just so dope. And we see the villains get taken down because Nightwing throws Brutal into the Electrocutioner, and we see this big blast. So, Nightwing and Tim Drake easily take down these villains. Tell Blockbuster these people are under my protection. Nightwing says, Robin, what is it? Fire. Nightwing says as the whole tent area for homeless kids is just burning up. Somebody set the place on fire. Now initially as a reader I thought, okay, it's probably Blockbuster's goons like Brutal and Electrocutioner. Like mostly Electrocutioner because he could do that. But it's not actually them. we see Nightwing jump into the fire and he goes to save a couple of people, some kids, and the fire is burning at fast rates. Now, Nightwing calls to Oracle. I'm watching. Fire department has already been contacted. Be careful. Nightwing goes up to these two kids who are very afraid. It's okay. You're going to be alright. We go back to Tim, and Tim is asking the Blockbuster goons a very reasonable question. Like, did you do this? Did you cause this fire? And Brutal and Electrocutioner are like, no, we did not do this. We were just sent by Blockbuster to take down, Nightwing and Tim. They have their whole, plan, but it wasn't to cause a fire. Now, Tim alerts Nightwing, and Nightwing, standing in front of these kids, says, yeah, I know. It was him. Nightwing looks across the fire and sees Heartless. Guys, this final splash image is one of the best images or art pieces I've seen in a long time. It gets me so hyped, guys. Seeing Nightwing with the Screamer stick, we see fire all around, the colors, how it blends in, and then afar, we see Heartless. And we see in the middle, the red lights, it really makes this new villain, stand out. And that's how we end the issue. And we see the next issue will be Heartless against Nightwing. So Nightwing will finally confront this big new villain, the big new antagonist. And yeah, that's how we end the issue, guys. I really enjoyed this issue. The artwork was on point all throughout. We got some great Bat Family moments with Tim and Nightwing, some cool references. We got some good back and forth interaction between Barbara and Dick. And we got a big cliffhanger. Also, did I mention some amazing action sequences that will not be forgot anytime soon. I really like the action in this issue. So yeah, I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. If you're a Nightwing fan, you gotta check this out. Especially if you're a Tom Taylor fan. But really, if you just want a good comic book, something you can read, it's fast, it has a good story, it moves at a fast pace, but there's still some really good interactions or good emotional moments. And also, each issue ends on a good cliffhanger that gets you hyped for the next issue. So yeah, go buy this at your local comic shop. But for now, guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Nightwing comic review. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.